but I think it's a low possibility that it's, or a low probability, high possibility. Um, it's likely someone that knows her well and is in her circle, in her community, shall we say. But again, let's take this into consideration. And I've worked many cases where it's not actually the person that has the grievance. There is someone involved in this who has a deep grievance. Okay? The person with the deep grievance may not be the person who actually committed the crime. They may have hired someone. Okay, so again, this is just a hypothetical. This is not what I'm saying out there, but let's say it's the pool guy. It may not be the actual pool guy that went in at 1:48 a.m. It may have been the pool guy that hired their friend or someone, because that's what we do. I mean, I've worked murder for hire cases. I am not saying this is a murder for hire case, but in crimes, when the person who has the grievance does not want to be responsible for committing the crime, they go and hire someone. So that is always a possibility as well. Is that possible? Yes. Probable? We're going to look. They're definitely looking into that.
Well, we're not. I think probable is about as certain as we can get in this conversation tonight. We just don't have enough information. Viewers at home know that. They know that we're trying to glean something from this. It's just not every day that you get this type of scenario, you get this type of crime, you get this type of you don't know what happens next. So, of course, we're following it very closely. Nicole, thank you so much for joining us, for bringing your insight, your experience. And, one thing we all can agree on is we can probably pray for a happy outcome, especially for this family. We're going to continue monitoring the breaking developments in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. We're going to bring you the latest as soon as we get back from this quick break.
Okay, so call 100 FBI if you see Nancy Godfrey or know any information relating to Nancy Godfrey's case, and or you can call 88 Crime or the Pune County Sheriff's Department or 911 regarding Nancy Godfrey's case. She's missing right now, and you're trying to work for her, so please help and do that during this time.
See, that's exactly what I would have guessed.
In the SUG, Progressive can protect you from becoming impairments. We can protect your home auto when you bundle with us.
Quick question about the tipping procedure.
So Les, whose cookies are this
Closer to everything.
They're yours?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll see them here. Listen about them.
Closer to what's ever close to your heart.
So, where is it before? On my stomach before Sonobello, and this is after. This year, don't just lose weight, lose stubborn fat and sagging extra skin permanently at Sonobello. I wanted the results of the tummy tuck, but not the downtime. We've helped over 300,000 people transform. Do you want that flat stomach? You go get that flat stomach. Schedule your free, no obligation consultation. Our flexible payment options make it easy to get started today. Call or go to sonobello.com right now.
Everything I got to. I'm 45. It's time to screen for colon cancer.
Will I ever see you again?
I love it. Also, I'm just on the porch.
I knew that. It's true. The Cologuard test comes to you.
Just ask your provider or request online.
That way you can screen for colon cancer on your terms. It's effective and non-invasive.
False positive and negative results may occur. It is not for those at high risk. Skip the draw. Ask your provider or request Cologuard online.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Bundle Fox Internet with mobile, and you're connected in here and out there.
We'll be back in just a few minutes with the Nancy Godfrey case and missing kidnapping here, and Falcons will give you the latest updates on that in a few minutes. When you come back from commercial break. So please stay with me.
I'm taking a break from being the auto tune guy.
When you come back from commercial break, I will turn it down one. I want you to see it.
since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, as the family has released another video begging the abductors to release their mother and offering to pay ransom. Back with us is former FBI Special Agent Jonathan Gilliam. Jonathan, let's remind everyone of what President Trump said last night about this investigation.
Well, I'll give you a little statement. I think we're doing very well on that regard. You're probably surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well. Very well, meaning we have some clues I think that are very strong, and I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a surgical?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. We have some things I think that will maybe come out reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be.
So, Jonathan, from the president last night, it was much more of a hopeful and maybe optimistic tone, if I'm reading that right. A little different from the Guthrie family video that we've, of course, seen over the last couple of hours. Do you think that the president was reacting to the same communication that the Guthrie family reacted to in that Instagram post tonight? Or do you think, just from your expertise, that there's something more there that the family is privy to or that the president is privy to? How do you, I guess, analyze those two videos?
I find his comments, we're not talking about a search, we're talking about a solution. I found that very interesting. And, the president has an interesting way of verbalizing things at times. And I found that, and I don't know what he meant by that. It could be that all the resources that are pouring in there, that he was speaking to those resources, that's the solution. We're talking about getting there and retrieving her and locating her with the right people that can do that. And that could potentially be what he was speaking about. And I really don't know beyond that, but I found that very interesting. He seemed very positive, and he's a very confident individual. So I found that uplifting, but at the same time, a little bit puzzling.
Jonathan, here's what one of Nancy's neighbors said about the lighting in the streets by her house. Let's listen.
No, we have no light for traveling here.
So even if you have a camera on your front door, they will not see who's passing by.
Nothing. Our camera would not, we live have a long driveway, you cannot see anything.
Right. And that makes you wonder what people can get away with.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There was some talk, and we even got pictures of a floodlight that was there. Now it's not there; it's been removed, and just the lighting in the area, I guess, was very low visibility. Cameras can't really function well. People can't see well. Is this why authorities are having such a difficult time tracking down leads and trying to find out if someone was there?
Well, yeah, so that neighborhood and that type of area in Arizona, it is really dark at night. However, it's if you have a Ring camera or Nest camera in this case, a lot of those cameras will have a night vision mode on them, and they will be able to pick up certain things. But it doesn't really matter if the cameras are not subscribed or the people aren't subscribed to the camera service, so it doesn't record it. So then we have information that can be gleaned from that, but not actual recordings. I mean, that goes back to the timeline as well, Joey. That is very odd to me was that one candidate, it says that the camera was disabled, but then later the camera showed movements. So I'm not real clear what they mean by disabled, and was the camera being moved or did it show somebody walking in front of the camera? So I was not clear with that.
John, one thing I've been mulling over is kind of the nature of the communication, going back and forth. We have the purported notes coming into local news stations. We have the video statements going out on social media from the Guthrie family. And I'm wondering what we should read into that, if anything. Is the Guthrie family communicating via social media because that's the only way they have to get in touch with the abductors? Or is it possible that it's a choice that they're making? I wonder if they're using the social media to kind of keep up the pressure on the abductors here. What are your thoughts about that?
I like what Paul Morrow said earlier, that this is so new that even you guys and your opinions on things matter in the way that we look at this. Because I was thinking the same thing earlier. Like, why would they pick Instagram, for instance? I'm not sure if Instagram is the only place that would. Now, but even if they just put it out on all their social media accounts. It could be that they were told to do it that way. It could be that that's just the easiest way for them to put it out, and then the news networks will pick up on it. But it's also an easy way to put a message out that's monitored, because the social media companies, as we know, monitor everything that we're doing on there. And so you would be able to see who was watching, who was listening to that video. So that could be a reason as well. We're in a technological era